Um, so today was a bit weird. I actually didn't manage to get a trade in today. Top Step was down for some unknown reason, so that kind of sucks. But what I can show you is the hypothetical trade that I would have taken. I basically took a fake trade. I still placed my position and all that. I set my contract sizes and my stop and my profit and I did all my stuff still. So I'm just gonna walk you through what I hypothetically would have gotten, what I hypothetically would have lost if I were to actually have been able to place this trade if Top Step was actually working like it was supposed to. So you can see here, I'm actually trading micro Nasdaq right now. I'm trading MNQ because for this specific strategy, we need a larger stop, and to be able to make that work, I need to risk less. We'll risk the same amount, but be able to use basically smaller contracts. That way I can have my stop be bigger. So I'm trading micro. Um, and we're going to start out with the first thing I was looking for. So first things first, I want to determine my high time frame bias here. So I'm on the 4 hour. This is market open right here. This started this white section right here. So you can see we're bullish on the 4 hour. So we got bullish bias there. Go to the 1 hour. Got bullish bias right here on the 1 hour in pre-market. So we know we're probably going to be looking for longs today. So next things next. First things first. Next things next. We're going to be we're going to be hitting our classic move. We're going to be marking our draws on liquidity here. So you can see we got our 1 hour lows here. Here we go. We got some 30-minute lows too, I believe. Yep. We also got some highs in here just in case, which actually didn't matter. Yeah, so that's all good. All right, after that, we can go into the 5-minute. Market opens, boom, bim, bam. We wait for our sweep of the lows specifically. So you can see, boom, we get a sweep of lows here. And we are going to wait for our first 5-minute confirmation confluence, which could be breaker structure, inverse fair value gap, 79% extension, or SMT divergence. And wouldn't you know here, guess what we have right here? This sneaky little sucker. Boom. Go to ES. Oh, look at that. 5-minute SMT divergence. So, what can we take from this? Well, we can see that when market opened, comparing this higher high to this lower high, and we go on NASDAQ here, micro NASDAQ, we have this lower high and then a higher high. So we're basically, what an SMT divergence is we're basically comparing two highs or two lows on two different indexes, and we're basically able to tell the future. So on ES here, you can see we're already in this kind of downtrend here with this SMT, and you can see here on micro Nasdaq, we're still going up. We have a lower high and then a higher high here, which indicates to us that Nasdaq is actually the lagging index. You can see here, it's lagging behind. It's still in this sort of uptrend. It has this uptrend momentum here, while ES has already started to move down just after market open. So that's going to count as our first 5-minute confirmation confluence here. So as you can see, oops, that's regular Nasdaq. We hit our 5-minute SMT. We continue downwards. Now we are looking for our second 5-minute confluence, our continuation confluence, which can again usually either be, I usually look for equilibrium or fair value gap here. You can use breaker block, order block. I don't like using those. That's just my personal preference. I don't like using those. I'd rather just use equilibrium and imbalances. So you can see here we get this giant downslope. We get our GAN box going here, and you can see, boom, EQ right here. All right. So, well, it actually just barely hits, which is kind of crazy. So, what does this let us know? Okay, so I just looked back to my trade. I just realized I said everything wrong basically. I actually didn't take a trade off of these lows here. I took a trade off the sweep of these highs, which was not in line with my high time frame bias. Um, so that's something, but I guess I just worked with what I had. I don't know. I don't really remember. Um, so we can see here. I'm basically just gonna speed run. We get our sweep, and during this sweep, we actually get our SMT at the same time. So this is a two birds, one stone situation. We get our sweep, we get our break of structure coming out of that, and we also get our SMT. So you get kind of a double confluence here on top of this sweep, which is incredible. Next, you can see our next 5-minute confluence, our continuation confluence. So yeah, my first confluence was this SMT here. You know, NASDAQ is a lagging index. It's great. We get our break of structure, which I don't actually count as a continuation confluence. So, you know, skip that. Don't even worry about that. But you know what we do count as our second confluence? Boom, EQ. So look at this. So I was looking for shorts today. Boom. Mark out this. This is actually barely, this isn't technically right EQ, but I guess technically it would be up here, and then in that case you can argue that we didn't actually hit EQ, but I guess, look, I don't know. It was 9:30, I was at school. I really need to start looking at my trades better apparently, but I guess it worked out. Well, it didn't work out because I didn't actually get the trade in. But anyway, you can see we hit EQ. After that, we can scale down to the 1 minute, and coming out of EQ here, we can look for our 1 minute confirmation confluence, which in my case can either be break of structure, inverse fair value gap, 79% extension of Fibonacci, or I guess a 1 minute SMT, which, you know, whatever. In this case, took the simple route, waiting for our break of structure here is what I was looking for. Ready, ready, ready? So we got a high, higher low. We get our lower high. So this should actually be one over here. Boom. All right. So yeah, you can see we get our 1 minute break of structure right here, and that's all the confluences we need. You can see I entered the trade here. It dips very quickly, but comes back, instantly hits TP on the next on the next candle here. And for my stop loss, I just set it above our last 5-minute confluence, which was EQ. I gave a few point buffer here, little safety buffer above EQ line. So that ended up working out. I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyway if I did it right here. Still would have ended up working out. But you can see here in this scenario, I would have made, that would have been a 26-point profit. And in other words, I probably would have traded 15 micro contracts. So that would equate to $416 on this trade. Hypothetically, if I were to actually have taken this trade. I did. I mean, this is the trade I actually would have taken if TopStep let me place the trade. So I paper traded today. So theoretically speaking, this is interesting. I could have set my stop all the way here at this draw of liquidity where we broke our liquidity here, where we swept liquidity. And then I could have targeted like, you know, this low or something, or maybe, I don't know, like maybe I could have targeted this 79%. I don't know. I could have done a lot of things here. And even if I did a 1-to-1, you can see market is still open as I'm doing this recap. But I actually would have lost this trade, I believe. Yeah. If I set my stop loss all the way up here, which is fine because I wasn't really looking for that giant of a stop anyway. I wasn't trying to wait that long. You can see this would have taken the entire day just to get stopped out anyway. So, yeah. Generally, if the liquidity sweep is too far away, I'll just set my stop above our confluence here for a nice 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2, or place it at points of reversal. So you can say, perhaps you could draw EQ right here, and maybe place TP at 79% extension, and you can see that would give us a good ratio of 2.5, and we would actually end up hitting that. So, it's really good to just think about your risk management in terms of where to put your stop and profit. And, you can set multiple take profits and stuff like that. I usually don't, but I really should. Then you see we instantly reverse off of that 79%, and we go up and we just crash into our stop here. So that's going to be about it for the recap. I was just showing you guys a hypothetical trade that I would have taken and that I would have won if TopStep was actually up and working today. I was really frustrated. I waited about an hour for this entry, and it just wouldn't let me sign in. Eventually I was able to sign in, but it wouldn't let me place a trade. Yeah, it was messed up. Yeah, that's gonna be it. And tomorrow's Wednesday, so I will place my trade recap tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.